LaSalle has a lot going on as the Lenten season has officially begun. Hello, I'm Erin Holly.
And I'm Justin Gick. An announcement from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle was released talking about a new member to their family. We have all this and more coming up on LTV News, where the action never stops. Welcome to LTV News, where we bring you everything from 20th and Olney Avenue, Philadelphia, and the world.
There is a lot to catch up on in the next half hour, as our producer Sam Long had the opportunity to interview Allison Worms about this year's Explorathon. Now let's hear the buzz on campus.
One of LaSalle's alumni has received a top honor for a documentary. Matt Halley, who graduated from LaSalle in 1994, and his documentary team vested 3 projects produced by ESPN Films. They won a Real Screen Award for their work chronicling a Navajo high school basketball team in Arizona. Congratulations to Matt and his team on this prestigious award.
During this season of Lent, the LaSalle community is finding ways to celebrate and reflect in person and online. Last week, LaSalle offered in-person Ash Wednesday masses and virtual prayer services for those who did not feel comfortable going in person. Throughout the Lenten season, LaSalle will be celebrating in many different ways. For more information and dates, check out LaSalle's website.
On Tuesday, February 23rd, LaSalle's Association for Women in Communications hosted a student intern panel. This event was called Internships, Gateways to Careers. It was held on Zoom, and communication students joined to learn more about their fellow students' internships and accomplishments. The AWC will also be hosting a virtual alumni panel in early March to give students the chance to network and learn from communication professionals. Across the U.S., the date for the virtual alumni panel is to be determined.
With campus having many restrictions in place this semester, LaSalle's annual Explorathon had to be moved to an online format instead of an in-person event. Sam had the opportunity to speak with Allison Worms about this year's changes to Explorathon. Check it out.
Hello, everybody. I'm back for another interview this week. After a long absence, I'm sitting down with Allison Worms, a program director for the Be Positive Foundation that really helped set up all of Explorathon this year for LaSalle. First of all, I just want to congratulate you on a super successful Explorathon. I saw you guys raised a lot more money than you have in previous years, which is amazing considering the circumstances. So congratulations for that first.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, all the credit goes to the students. They worked so hard, even kind of amidst the craziness of this year. And, on behalf of all of us at Be Positive and all the kids, we're so grateful.
Yeah, that's great. One of our producers, Aaron, worked on the executive board for this. Can you touch on what all the members of the executive board did, what their responsibilities were, just how this all came together?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So Explorathon has an executive board of about 6 people, 7 toward the end, given the incoming executive director. And their role is to really support the, LaSalle community in their fundraising and just keeping them as engaged and connected to the Be Positive mission as possible. So Kristen, she was the executive director, and she kind of oversaw the board, and all of the different positions, had different roles. For example, Erin, as you mentioned, who was a member of the board, her job was social media and to really put everything onto the Instagram and, share things out that way. There were also event coordinators and fundraising chairs. Everyone kind of had that specific role so that the Explorathon community or LaSalle community could really be as engaged in Explorathon as possible.
Now, were a lot of these students working at new, or are these all returning students who have worked Explorathon in previous years? How did everyone all come together for this?
Yeah, so that's a great question that actually precedes my time with the Be Positive Foundation. I started working with them once they had formed their board. And some of them are new to the community, some of them are not. Many of them fundraised last year and, knew the Be Positive mission, had heard Joe McDonough, the founder, speak before. And many of them, hadn't, and they just fell in love with the mission and really wanted to make a difference. And I think that's the beauty of the dance marathon is that you can really just decide how big your involvement is going to be based on how much you want it to be.
Well, how did you get involved with Be Positive and working for Explorathon?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I was an undergraduate student at the University of Delaware. I graduated back in May of 2020. And my freshman year, I actually went to an interest meeting about UDance, which is Delaware's dance marathon benefiting the Be Positive Foundation. And like I said before, I just fell in love with the mission. I wanted to make a difference. And this was an opportunity as a college student to really make a difference. So by sophomore year, I had joined their executive board. I was on their executive board for 3 years. My third year, I was one of the 2 executive directors. And I just couldn't be more thankful that opportunity came across during my college experience, because it was 100% the defining experience and memory I have of college. And now I have the role of working full time with Be Positive to help and support student leaders, including Kristen and LaSalle, but all across the country in their fundraising efforts to help as many families as possible.
Yeah, it's great that you've definitely had that experience of 3 years doing it in college and then being able to take that to a professional level and do what you loved in school professionally and getting paid for it. That's kind of the dream scenario for most college students.
Yeah, I mean, I truly love everything I do. I love working with students like the LaSalle students, and I totally see myself in these student leaders and wanting to just make a change, and I want them to have the amazing experience that I did.
Yeah, that's great. So what was the exact money total that you guys raised this year, just for anyone who didn't get to see? If you don't have that exact number, it's fine.
No, I believe it was, let's see if I get the number right. It was $39,292, I believe. And you can fact check me on the Instagram, which I'm going to do right now to make sure I'm not giving false information. But they did such a good job. And last year they had raised, I'm checking myself here, Explorathon. Yes, 025. I got my
close enough.
Close enough. But last year they raised just over $22,000. And so this year it was, a huge jump, which they were so, so proud of.
That's a huge jump considering the circumstances we're under right now.
Yes.
I guess a lot of emphasis on virtual fundraising really put people on social media on the spot. And, you're flipping through your Instagram stories and you see someone's bingo board asking for money for something and you see a few more. Eventually you're prone to, even if it's just $5, you're prone to donate something eventually. And I think an emphasis on just using social media to your advantage for something like this is definitely really beneficial. And that definitely helped with the big spike.
Yeah, I mean, we've all in different ways relied on social media so much more this year, for good and for bad, and just to connect with people, to feel close to people. And this was a way they were able to use it. And it really, there's definitely negatives and terrible things because of COVID, but this was a big way for them to fundraise. And, I was able to go to all of their exec meetings because I was able to just pop into their Zoom and things like that, where, I couldn't have done that without technology and social media. So for sure, that was, a huge part of it.
Yeah, that's great. I'm so happy that you guys did fantastic this year. It's only going to get bigger as the years go on, as we can start having people in person again. I only see room for more improvement for this. So thank you so much for all the work you did for LaSalle this year. It's very much appreciated, all your help. The executive board did a fantastic job too. Aaron did great. Everyone did great. And thank you so much for joining me for this interview today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And I'm going to send it back to the desk.
It's time for our first break, but coming up, a couple who met on a SEPTA bus is celebrating 73 years of marriage. Stay tuned.
What's up, man? What's up, Greg?
be nervous.
Are you the one who's been watching me?
We've been watching you this entire time.
Who is this?
You should already know who's watching you.
What do you mean?
It's us, LaSalle.
LaSalle?
LaSalle TV.
Oh, we are watching LaSalle TV.
Kylie loves to an egg.
An egg?
An egg.
How does a general lose to an egg?
The internet to an egg.
You know, there is a show for that. It's called Backstage Pass.
You see the new library plan?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they're doing stuff in the library.
Oh. In the library?
Yeah.
The new library.
You know, there is a show for that called LTV News, where the action never stops.
I wonder how the basketball team is.
You know, there is a show for that called Sports Live.
So are you a Carson Wentz or Nick Foles guy?
More of a Nate Sudford team.
Oh, really? Interesting. Wonder where we can hear about Philly sports.
You know, there's a show for that called Sports Talk Philadelphia.
You like Family Feud?
Yeah.
You like all shows like that?
Yeah.
I wonder if LaSalle has a show like that. That'd be kind of cool.
There is a show for that called Q&A.
I really wish that we could just display our talents.
Yeah, me too.
There is a show for that called Explorers Got Talent.
All this and more on LaSalle TV.
Americans are the most generous people on the planet. Helping others is ingrained in our spirit. It's who we are. When there's pain in the world, Americans respond. Our impact reaches far and wide. By giving, we can inspire hope when all hope has been lost and make the world a better place.
Support the Global Emergency Response Coalition by going to globalemergencyresponse.org today.
The Philadelphia Teachers Union held citywide protests last Monday defying school district plans to bring teachers back into classrooms for the first time since last March. As part of its day of action, the union has told members not to enter school buildings as requested. The teachers and union members have been saying the schools and buildings they work in are unsafe and unsuitable to work in. Conditions were released to the school system in October, and many of those conditions were not met, which started the protests. A mediator is currently reviewing the situation, and the teachers hope a compromise will be met soon.
Just before Valentine's Day, one of the biggest nights for restaurants of the year, it was announced that Philadelphia restaurants can open indoor dining back up to 50% capacity. There's a catch, though. Restaurants must meet specific air quality and air ventilation requirements. The city's health commissioner, Dr. Thomas Farley, worked with restaurant owners in regards to the new guidelines and regulations. The restaurants who desire to have 50% capacity must install HVAC systems that replace the air inside the room at least 15 times an hour, a MERV 11 or a better air filter, and an exhaust vent at least 6 feet from tables and chairs. Only restaurants that meet these standards will be able to expand capacity, even though these new requirements may cost thousands of dollars for restaurant owners.
As we begin to move past Valentine's Day weekend, we often find ourselves thinking about the ones we love the most. For Roland and Gloria Scarinci, it's each other. The lovely couple met on a Philadelphia SEPTA bus and are now celebrating 73 years of marriage and counting. Marine Corps Captain Roland Scarinci had recently returned home from serving in World War II, when that bus ride had led the way to Gloria. Gloria was counting her change when the bus jerked and fell into Roland's arms. It was love at first sight. The couple then went on to have 2 children and 2 grandkids and had just recently celebrated their 73-year anniversary on January 31st.
Coming up after this last break, the Nestle Kitkat bar has some new changes in store.
I see my friends out there getting waves and talking about them, and I know exactly what they're doing and what they're feeling and everything. It's like, it's hard. I was diagnosed when I was 57. It was a surprise to me when they told me I had MS. It's like, you sure?
Well, the idea is this is a 360-degree virtual reality camera rig Steve hasn't been able to ride a wave in way too many years, so now I'm gonna ride a wave and we get to share it with him. Well, we're gonna do something. Just put that on your head. Whoa.
Oh, this is unreal. Coming up, coming up, coming up. Boom. Nice, nice. This is fantastic.
Yeah, let me set it up and you get into
Set
the
it up.
ride.
Let's do that again.
Have you been to the land of happy? Where everyone's happy all day? Where they joke and they sing of the happiest things and everything's jolly and playful? There's no one unhappy in happy. There's laughter and smiles galore. I've been to the land of happy. What a bore. What a bore. What a bore.
Did you know that 2 billion people worldwide lack access to safe surgery? Together with Operation Smile, we believe every child suffering from cleft lip or cleft palate deserves exceptional care, no matter where they're born. This is your chance to comfort parents who may have lost hope that surgery is an option for their child. It starts with healing that one child.
The sun of fire and beauty, destruction and life. Something so magnificent you can't even look at it. My sun of fire and passion, life until death. Something so magnificent you can't look away. Maybe because we don't look at the sun, we are afraid that we might not be able to let go of the beauty that just might end up destroying us.
On Saturday, February 13th, the U.S. Senate voted to acquit former President Donald Trump in his second impeachment trial. The Senate voted that Trump was not guilty of inciting the deadly January 6th riot at the Capitol. The verdict amounted to be a bipartisan rebuke of the former president, with 7 Republicans finding him guilty. The final vote was 57 guilty to 43 not guilty, just short of the 67 guilty votes needed to convict. The Democrats' defense showed security tapes and video collected from the day of the Capitol insurrection. The former president's counsel did not seem to be able to back their position. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell voted not guilty, but made a statement after the vote that he believed Trump was guilty of a disgraceful dereliction of duty. House impeachment manager Jamie Raskin stated, "The bottom line is that we convicted a big majority in the Senate of our case."
It's a job anyone would go nuts for. Planters Peanuts is looking for new employees, specifically college graduates, to drive the Mr. Peanuts Nutmobile. This job would consist of traveling the U.S. in a peanut-shaped vehicle and attending events and interviews while wearing the Mr. Peanut costume. There are multiple job openings for Planters Peanut brand ambassadors, and this job will be anything but ordinary. If you know any recent college graduates that are interested in applying, check our Mr. Peanuts Twitter account or head to planterspeanutmobile.com.
Nestle's first vegan Kitkat bar is coming soon. By popular demand, Nestle is launching a non-dairy version of the candy bar called Kitkat V. Nestle guarantees the candy bar still has the perfect balance between crispy wafer and smooth chocolate. Kitkat V uses a rice-based alternative rather than dairy milk. Nestle has already launched plant-based alternatives such as ice cream, coffee creamers, and cheese. This new plant-based chocolate bar is said to be released later this year. Kitkat V will begin sales in a few countries across the globe before expanding worldwide. The new Kitkat V means chocolate lovers have a new vegan option when they have a break.
On Monday, February 15th, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced that they are expecting their second child. A spokesperson for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex said, quote, "We can confirm that Archie is going to be a big brother, and the Duke and Duchess are overjoyed to be expecting their second child." The announcement comes almost exactly 37 years after Prince Charles and Princess Diana announced they were expecting their second child, which happened to be Harry. A source close to Harry and Meghan said the couple told their families in advance of releasing the news publicly. The couple's announcement came with a black and white photo showing the pair smiling joyfully at each other while seated outside in the grass with Meghan having a visible baby bump.
Well, that just about does it for this episode, but be sure to find us on the web as well as the rest of LaSalle TV on our Facebook page. We love to hear your thoughts, so tweet at us using our Twitter handle and start the conversation.
If you missed the scoop and want to see it, you can find episodes on YouTube on our LaSalle TV Philly page.
Until next time, for Justin, Sam, and the entire crew, I'm Erin Holly. Thanks for watching LTV News, where the action never stops. And please, continue to wear a mask.